Welcome to Patriot James Talk Show Wednesday night. We got some very special guests in here tonight. But before we do that, let's say God bless America. God bless you and your families. And don't forget, say prayers for these guys that's behind us. Without them, we couldn't do what we do. Let's give out a few shout outs. But let's say, you know, we hold these truths to be self evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator for certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we're going to talk about a little bitty happy catfish tonight. I see Avid's in the house. He's saying he was the first one in. Matthew Scott, Sunfish Assassin, Catfish Weekly. There's Mr. Lyle Stokes in the house. Catfishing with the Crow, ZC Outdoors. That's a new name. Seen quite a few new names coming in already. Thank y'all, everybody, for coming in. Fishing and Freedom. I love that name. Mr. Creole's in the house. Fishing and Freedom. Who else we got in here? Oh, chat's jumping now. John Patrick Jr., thank you for coming in there. My buddy Freddie. Philip Williams. Who else we got in here? Don't want to miss no names. They'll be coming in all night. And I won't keep y'all guys up too late, we hope. Palmetto Cats Art OTFC. One of these days I'll figure out what that means. Maurice is in the house. Who else? There's Rams Bait and Tackle. San Antonio, Texas. Thank you for coming in, guys. Nebraska Wildcats. Shameless Fishing. All kind of new people coming in. The Bullock Experience. What's up, Kelly? Hope y'all feeling better, guys. Irvin's in the house. The Squirrel's in the house. Mr. Strawberry Wooten is watching us. I believe all of us know Mr. Strawberry. All right, we caught up for right now. Guys, tonight we got Junior Proctor's grandson, Ethan, in the house with us. We got Gavin Leffert from Team Wampus Cat and Grayson Melhorn. I think everybody's watched this young man grow up on Dieter Melhorn's show. Thank y'all guys for coming in the show tonight. We're going to see if we can get some good information out of these guys and some funny stuff. We're going to start out with one funny thing before we get started. That's going to be with you, Gavin.
Oh, Lord.
It was cold. Santee Cooper. Everybody was ready to go in. You couldn't go out because the Coast Guard said the lake was off limits and you wanted to fish off the dock. Do you remember what you told everybody?
It didn't matter if it was raining, we was still going to fish.
Something about I rode 4 hours and y'all can go in if you want, but I'm fishing or something like that.
Ain't wasn't no point in stopping. We was there.
What, 6 years old?
Do what?
What was you, about 6 or 7?
I was about, kindergarten. I was kindergarten, first grade when that happened. First trips to Santee Cooper.
Yeah, Justin told me, he said, yeah, I'm going to show his little tail. I'm going to freeze him off. Yep, he said they give up before you did.
That's right. Begged him to go down there, and once I got down there, I was ready to go.
Yep. Hey, I don't blame you. Y'all caught some good fish. Did you ever get to go out on the water that day?
No.
Had to go. Did you get to go out any that trip?
Go out eventually.
That water gets rough down there. I know these boys has fished it too. That can get dangerous, especially that lower lake.
Yeah.
And Ethan, your grandpa fishes that lower lake a lot, don't he?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know he was talking about that one tournament they was fishing in. He was going down to that lower lake and fishing it. And y'all actually, Grayson, y'all went out there and watched the eclipse off that lake, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, we did.
That was pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we all have fun out on the boat sometime. One of my most memorable moments is when that big C-130 flew over us and me and Donna was sitting up there on Moss Lake. Wasn't but one boat on the lake. I posted a video and it was cool, man. He come through there and he waved him old wings at you. And the last time he probably flew 50 yards off the top of our heads. You could see the rivets in the plane. It was cool. Yeah, that was America right there for me, boy. You couldn't have wiped that grin off my face with a 2 before. All right, guys. We're going to hit up. We're going to hit you PBs first. Ethan, what's your PB?
Maybe 2 pound blue catfish.
That hurts my feelings. Hurts my feelings. That's a fish of a lifetime. You might as well pick up another hobby, Ethan. Might as
Yeah.
well just pick up another hobby.
I don't
You-
think so.
Yeah. You looking for that triple digits now, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Grayson, what's your biggin?
60-pound blue
Yeah.
catfish.
Yours is right around there too, ain't it, Gavin? 60, 64. Now, where'd yours come from, Ethan? Your big
Like-
fish.
Lake Murray.
Lake Murray? Go ahead, Grayson. I'm asking.
Lake Watery.
Watery. Now, Watery got some daggum good fish in it. I've seen daggum. Yeah, I seen Junior pull some big ones out of Watery. Matthew Anthony, too. Where'd yours come from? Baden, I know.
Nah. Well, yeah, it did actually.
Yep.
Yeah, up there at
Send me a
the
screenshot of the spot y'all was at. I ain't posting it up though. Even though it's a public hole,
yeah.
where y'all was sitting was pretty freaking wicked, man. I thought they got to be some huge fish in there.
That's a nice spot right there.
Yep, yep. Now was y'all's in daytime?
In the morning by 8:30. Was pre-fishing for a tournament down there and killed him that day. And then Daddy went back on the weekend and fished the tournament and thought he was going to win it for the day.
Yep, yep. Y'all fished it out, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
Mr.
right.
Dieter Melhorn's in the chat. Was yours during the day, Junior? I mean, Junior. He should have put your name up there. I'm gonna keep calling you Junior all night. It's Ethan.
It was around 2 o'clock in the evening.
2 o'clock. Grayson, they ain't no telling if it's day or night with you.
I think it was in the morning time. I was little
Right.
when it happened. I barely remember it.
Yeah, they seen a lot of y'all's lives at daytime, and a lot of y'all's lives at nighttime. At the time, your daddy was about the only one that done live catfishing, and then I started doing it, and then it caught on. A lot of people went crazy on it. All right, let me. All right, we're gonna start right here, Mr. Ethan. Think about that day you caught that big fish, and knowing Junior, y'all was probably dragging baits, wasn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take me through how y'all set up y'all's boat to fish that day.
Mm.
Think about it.
Pretty sure we had 8 rods hanging out the back and 2 rods out the front. Right?
Pulling planer boards.
Yes, sir.
Was you pulling bobbers too?
I don't
Straight out the back?
I don't remember that. Planer boards were at the back. I don't know what was on the front.
Yeah, I don't y'all might not have been pulling the bobbers back then. I think he was playing with them other planer boards he tried out one time. Those flat ones.
Yeah, we were using the green ones that we had.
Right.
So before we got the ones we got now, we were
Right.
using
Right.
those.
Right. Now was y'all dragging baits? I know Gavin, y'all was probably anchored up there, wasn't you?
Nah, was anchored up.
Yeah. Grayson, you remember if y'all was dragging or anchored?
Anchored.
Yeah. That's something your daddy don't do a lot of, but
Oh, he did back then a lot.
yeah. Yeah. There's your daddy. All y'all's grandpas and daddies in chat tonight, guys, saying, hey, what would y'all prefer to do? Drag baits or anchor up?
Anchor up any day.
Drag.
Drag.
Yeah. Dragging keeps you kind of busy, but if you want a good laid back day and just enjoy the bite, then anchoring up's the way to go. I just hate pulling anchors. That's what y'all's young backs are for, is pulling anchors for grandpa and daddies.
That's my job on the boat.
That's why I'd rather drag.
Well, they getting ready to be some new techniques out there for flathead catfishing that y'all young guys I still like bass fishing. And I know you do, Gavin, because y'all hit them farm ponds, and I'm sure Grayson caught his share of them. You ever do any bass fishing there, Ethan?
Not too much.
Well, they're getting ready to be some new techniques to using artificial baits for flathead catfish. And that was where the bass boats would come back into play for catfish, is flipping jigs and stuff for catfish. It can be done, and I got videos of guys that's doing it right now. So as soon as it comes out, they throwing big artificial baits, probably 10, 12, 14 inches long, rubber baits with big jig heads behind boulders and stuff like that, and catching monster flatheads.
Good Lord.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
These are guys that's in float tubes. They're floating down this big old river in tubes catching these fish.
Like smallmouth fish.
Yep, like smallmouth fishing. You're exactly right. That'd be a blast. And see, it's you guys that's going to come up with stuff like that. That's going to change the world of catfishing. Something's going to change it. And it might not be for the blues and the channels, but the flathead's been an aggressive fisher, then they're more to react to an artificial bait. You thump him in the head with it, he's going to bite it. He's going to bite it. What's y'all's favorite fish, the blue or the flatheads?
Flatheads.
Blue.
Flathead.
Ethan, you're mainly blues because y'all do mostly drifting, so that's mainly your stay is the blues. But he done something that I don't know if I've seen y'all two do. You got to go grappling for catfish, didn't you, this past summer?
Yeah.
Jumping there and grabbing them by hand.
Oh, yeah.
That was my Uncle Casey, actually.
Did you not in the water with them?
I was, but I wasn't grabbing out of the.
Oh, okay. I thought you was down there. Gavin, have you ever done that?
I've done it a couple times with my buddies.
Was you successful?
Say what?
Was you successful? Did you catch any?
No, Didn't do
I
that.
just don't know. I just don't know if I'm gonna stick my hand up and underneath in a hole or something underneath the water that I can't see.
Right.
Yeah,
Second.
because I've seen cooters. I've seen cooters as big as 55-gallon drum tops.
Boy.
No, I like all 10 of my fingers. I like to keep them on my hands. What other kind of fishing do y'all guys like? And we'll get back into some catfishing. Now, I'm kind of leaving Ethan over here thinking about that trip before I come back to him. Ethan, y'all probably catch striper down there too, don't you?
Sometimes.
That's a
Sometimes
good
I'm
fighting
right.
fish, ain't it?
A lot of perch fishing, too.
Oh, I hear you. Yep. But that goes striper. That's a different, ain't it?
Yeah.
Gavin, your daddy said, "No, them turtles won't hurt you." Yeah.
He's lost it.
He don't care if it crawls, if it wiggles or whatever. He'll grab it, won't he?
Yep. He's braver than I am.
Yeah, he's told me about some of the snakes he's raised. He's crazy. All right, Grayson. What you like the stripers when I know you've caught striper too.
Oh yeah, stripers are fun. They're like flatheads on crack.
Yeah.
All over the place.
They hit like a bullet straight off the get go and just peel line hard, don't they?
Oh yeah. Especially ones that are above 25 pounds.
See, I've never got one over 20 pounds myself. Never got into them. Of course, we always bait fish for them. We'd go up there behind the hot holes like on Lake Norman and stuff. And we used to do pretty good fishing off the bank, but it seemed like the bigger ones was always just right out of the cast. We just couldn't quite get. You could see the bigger ones hitting, but we just couldn't get to them. But that was probably one of the fastest hitting fish I've ever caught.
Yep.
Them daggum hybrids fight hard for the size, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah.
One advantage we guys got over Ethan is that he's in South Carolina and we get to use game fish for bait in North Carolina where he can in South Carolina. But what is y'all's mainstay down there in South Carolina, Ethan?
Talk about like bait we use?
Yeah,
or
bait you use.
usually shad or perch.
Yeah,
So kind of like
that's
50-50 in between the two.
right. And that's pretty much our mainstay up here in North Carolina, except we might use, crappie. I know Gavin, your daddy's a crappie man. He loves them crappie for bait.
Yes, sir.
And Grayson's daddy will cut up one in a heartbeat. He's like me. He likes largemouth bass too. Now,
Chicken is way better than all.
oh my gosh, chicken. I don't care what it is. If the fish will eat it, I'll put it on my hook. I ain't too brave. I'll put it on there in a heartbeat. If it works, it works. And Dieter's proved it works. I mean, hands down, he has. He's proved that it works. Well, Ethan, the day you caught that big fish, do you remember what bait you was using?
I believe we caught the big fish on shad. But
Do
no,
you remember what time of year it was?
it was
Hot, cold.
summer, spring.
There you go. So the water was just getting good and warm. It wasn't quite warmed up yet. That's a good time. There's Muskrat Adventures in 3+1. All kind of good people coming in here. Guys, share it up. It's some great information tonight.
Okay.
So you was on water read, Grayson. Was y'all up in the river section or what? Tell me what y'all was doing that day and what you think, how y'all was fishing it.
I'm pretty sure we was back in the cove, anchored up, shallow water. It's January. It's the worst way to catch a big catfish. January 1st, muddy, shallow water, anchored up. It shouldn't have happened, and somehow it happened. Caught a 60-pound blue cat.
It's shallow water.
Yep.
Dang right. I'd still be grinning. Now, Gavin, I know that was before y'all got that new hummingbird that you got on the boat now, but
Yeah.
do you remember paying much attention to your graph when y'all pulled up in that hole where you was at?
Yep. We anchored in shallow water and was throwing out in deeper water. And we had been catching them like all morning, and it seemed like the bigger the fish, the deeper the water was. Then finally, that one we chunk way out there in the stratosphere took off and bent over. And that was a big boy.
So the furthest one you had out was the one the big boy grabbed.
The deep water, yes, sir.
Dang right. Because I noticed they was when I was looking at his Navionics picture he sent me, right out in front of where y'all's boat was kind of like a plateau.
Yeah.
And I told Justin, I said, I'd almost bet that that's a mussel bed. The way it looked. Was your fish full of mussel?
It's fat, I'm sure.
They probably did have a belly full of mussels. I know y'all seen it. I know Grayson's seen it because his daddy always showing the mussels and stuff on a catfish like that. But now that's got to be a major diet. I mean, a major food source for those catfish because it's easy food.
Right.
Is that something that since y'all learning and still growing in catfishing world, do y'all think that would be something worth learning in the waters that you fish is where different mussel beds are?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easy bait, especially like right after the spawn. They're hungry. They're tired from the spawn. They're beat up. They done had their heads beat in by the other fish and stuff. They ain't wanting to have to go fight for food.
No.
So summertime, I believe I'd be looking for where them mussel beds are.
Mussel beds, yeah.
That's just me, but now Ethan, I'm coming back to you again because I want to put you on the spot because I like the way your grandpa drags baits. I love the way he sets his boat up. Same way with y'all guys. It's all a learning curve, but it seems like Junior's been doing it a long time. He's got it down. I've never seen another fisherman that could fish daggum 10 planer boards at one time. How that man does that and don't make a mess is just beyond me. And you're out there on the boat when he does a lot of that. When you start getting more than one fish on at a time, what is your job besides reeling them in?
Trying to keep from getting off.
Handing the net, whatever it takes, right?
Yes, sir.
Making a good first mate.
Trying to keep the rods from getting tangled up.
What's now? That's what me and your grandpa was talking about the other day. Is learning what to watch for. What are some of the things you need to watch for on that fish when you hook him up to try to steer him different?
The way that he's pulling the board.
There you go. See, you paid attention. You don't realize it, but there's little things like that you paid attention. If that board's headed towards other lines, you need to try to figure out how to turn him, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And if you don't, you're going to end up with a daggum Patriot mess, and you don't want one of those. Done been there, done that. Don't like it.
No.
Now, Grayson, when you and your daddy's, I noticed that he likes doing long draws, long drags. He'll set up for a long drag. When do you usually start seeing those bites when you're dragging? Whether he's coming over new territory or river channel, or do you even pay attention to what's going on?
It's normally in the middle of the river channels because we'll go from one side to the other, and generally about when we get to the middle, that's when we catch a little more fish. But sometimes it'll be right at the beginning or right at the end.
About like what you think them baits drop off into that river channels when they get hit?
Yeah, when they get to that deeper water.
That's some of the things I've noticed too. If I'm not catching them up on the flats, if you make that transition to start going across that river channel and your baits drop off, it seems like as soon as they hit the bottom, they get slammed. And you might have 2 or 3 at one time go off.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fun about dragging, but it's also fun setting anchored up and somebody fires up the grill and the hamburgers are on. And you just about getting ready you could taste them hamburgers and that rod will go off. And then that rod will go off. And you got slime on your hands and a good greasy cheeseburger. I thought somebody had a question for you. I could have swore I seen a question. Guys, if y'all had a question, please share it up again. I missed it and let it get past us. Guys, they're saying great seeing those young men on the show. Yeah, I mean, this is the future of catfishing. As born and raised in it, Gavin, all the way growing up, you was with your daddy and your grandpa and all of them going down there fishing on Santee and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's pictures of me whenever I was still in the car seat, maybe like 11, 12 months old, out there on the boat with them.
Yeah, and I mean, same way with these guys. So it's y'all seen the sport grow as far as YouTube and stuff like that. Do y'all see yourself maybe starting up a YouTube channel later for catfishing?
Yeah, and also like up hunting, not strictly catfish. Not maybe plan on putting a little bit of different stuff in there.
Yeah, that's something, I kind of narrowed my field down when I put catfishers in there instead of outdoors.
Right.
Make sure you like Dieter done his great, his Dieter Melhorn fishing. But with fishing, that's a big market. You got all kind of fish where y'all go shark fishing and stuff like that too. When you start your channels, don't neck yourself down to that because there's so much other stuff you could show. Like I show gold mining sometimes, or out hunting mushrooms, or whatever. It seems like if it ain't specifically catfish on a catfish channel, you don't really get as many views. It seems like to me. I might be wrong, but now, Grayson, you had a channel by yourself at one time. What did you ever do with it?
I couldn't figure out the password to sign back into it. So.
I plan on taking my granddad's channel over someday.
There you go. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, and I love seeing that. Let me turn this heat off. But one of the things I was asking you, one of the most viewed videos that Grayson, your daddy, put up was the yellow jackets. I mean,
yeah, I remember
the wasp nest. That was crazy. here in the building. This heat was cooking me. What made y'all decide to shoot a video on spraying those wasps? That's a big nest too, wasn't it?
Wait, yeah, it was the size of a dang basketball. I mean, it's huge.
God.
It was my dad's idea to video it because we were scouting land out there, and then we came across it, and then we were putting up tree stands with a whole bunch of people, and when we got done, my dad decided to go video us spraying it.
They didn't like it either, did
Nah.
they? Now, Ethan, out of all the lakes that you fish in down there with your grandpa, do you like going to Monticello?
Monticello's pretty nice.
Yep. There ain't a whole lot of boat traffic out there, are they?
No, definitely not.
That's something me and Justin's talked about, riding down and fishing with your grandpa down there, because we'd like to learn that lake a little more. I think Gavin, I think your daddy's fished that lake a couple times, but I have never fished that lake, and I'd love to go fish it. Grayson, do y'all ever fish Monticello?
Occasionally, not much.
Occasionally. That's I like challenging myself to different waters. These boys tying rigs. All right. Want to know, do y'all tie any of your own rigs?
I helped,
Learning.
Say what?
I said I helped Dad tie rigs like for tournaments and stuff.
Right.
I'm learning how to tie my own.
Yep. Learning them knots is the main thing. Using different knots. Learning those knots and where to use them is a good thing.
One of the main things I do is sharpen the hooks.
Oh, I hear you.
So,
what do you use to sharpen your hooks?
just a regular file, a tiny one.
You have to get your grandpa to do a video on you sharpening those hooks. Because, I mean, a lot of people waste their hooks. When they get dull, they throw them away, and they'll just go buy more hooks. And hooks are getting expensive.
Absolutely.
That's crazy at some of the prices of them hooks. And right now, it's hard to get anything. I've got an order in for 200 planer board clips, and it might get here by March. Yeah, so it's crazy. If you could have anywhere in the world to go chase a fish, what would you go for, Grayson?
Buck a grand on a hammerhead.
That'd be a fight. Now, Gavin, you caught some pretty good sharks, ain't you?
Caught some white tip sharks.
Because I was looking through your daddy's pictures, trying to find some pictures of you holding up catfish, and I seen y'all some videos or pictures of y'all shark fishing. Somebody had a pretty good sized shark.
Yeah, we went to Daytona about 3 years back and took out on one of them like quarters 25 miles off the coast and something like that. And we had caught some kind of some old trash fish, and the old guy that had took us out, he hooked it through the head and chucked it out there. And I thought, what? About that time it took off, and he said, "That's a shark. Go up there and catch your first shark." It come up next to the boat like 3 times and then dove. I was like, "All right, dude, cut the line. My arm's sore, dude."
So that was the picture. That was the fish in those pictures off the side of that boat.
Yeah, that was in Daytona.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, it was a big shark. Yeah.
Now, Grayson, I know you've caught some good sizes in black tips and white tips, ain't you?
Oh, yeah. My biggest is a tiger shark. It was like, I think 8 feet long.
Right.
God.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, me and my dad
You ever
had to
gone
take
out
turns
shark
on it.
fishing?
No, never had
You'd
it.
like to. You don't think you'd like to catch a big old shark?
Too afraid of that deep water.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's all in the fight and fun. I mean, you'd be all right. Lost too much tackle in Monticello, Carolina catfish. I'll call you tomorrow, my friend. Sorry I haven't got back with you. I will give you a call tomorrow. Sorry. Um, but basically, y'all fishing by like you do for a catfish, don't you? Cut bait, hooking, a weight.
Yep, pretty much.
I know that's why Dieter likes going shark fishing, because it's a lot like his catfishing, just different areas. Now, Ethan, I know Junior likes going to some of the river sections and then the big lakes and stuff like that. Would you rather fish lakes with current, or out there in the big lakes where y'all can cover bigger water?
Probably with current. Be easier to drag.
Right. Gavin, y'all like going up there in the current and the river section up there in Baden, don't you? Where you always got some current.
Yep, we love current.
And Grayson, you same thing, current?
I'm kind of between on them.
Yeah,
No
because
current, you can catch good sized fish with no current, in my experience at least.
Yeah, because you fished a bunch of different kind of waters, current driven waters, and the lakes too. So that's one. I mean, I think people need to experience those different waters to actually hone their skills in as far as chasing catfish. But catching the bait is just as much fun, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Now, I know Ethan's got on the perch, and Gavin and Grayson, y'all got on the perch. And that's perch jerking to me is just, it's a blast.
It is.
What was that video, Grayson? Who was that you was fishing with? One of your buddies was out there with you, and you had a big old bandage on your finger or something during that time. Or he did. One of y'all did.
Were we catching perch?
Yep.
I think I remember it. Yeah,
Yep.
I broke my finger playing
Oh, that's
football
what
with
it was.
friends, and yeah, he was catching doubles every single time, and I could
See,
barely hook one.
that is just, I don't know, something about that just jerking. I mean, if you got a sabiki rig, you can load up all 6 hooks at times. That's just fun, guys. I don't care who you are. That's just fun.
yeah.
I mean, it ain't that 60 or 70, 80-pound fish, but when you catch multiples, then it's fun. I'm gonna ask all 3 of you the same question, but we're gonna start with Gavin. What is something that you could tell the youth coming up today that would help inspire them to put the Xbox down and these things down right here and just get back out and enjoy nature?
There's a lot of stuff you can do on a telephone, but it ain't never gonna be like the experience you're gonna have if you're out doing something hands on. You know, it's in front of your face, and you're actually, working to get it done. Like fishing, you have to go through catching bait, cutting bait, tying rigs, and then once you catch that trophy fish, it means a lot to you because you went and put in the work, and you know, got something good out of it.
Grayson, something you want to share with the young people growing up that might be able to get the experience fishing for the first time?
Just go out and do it. See what happens. If you like it, you like it. If it ain't your thing, it ain't your thing. That's about as good as I can give.
Yeah, I mean, don't give up so easy, because a lot of them give up before the fish ever hits, before
Oh,
they
yeah.
get that first good thrill. You know, I learned that taking my daughter fishing for years. When she was done, then the fishing trip might as well be over, because if you drag them and keep them there, then you might not ever get them to come back. I want them to be fun. Ethan, what do you want to share with the youth to convince them to get on the boat or go out and fish off the bank or fish in a creek for brim?
It don't matter where you're fishing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be 10 times funner than playing on an Xbox, PlayStation, or anything really.
Got to have a little bit of patience, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Can't worry about that instant gratification of it happening right then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Somebody had. Okay, I know where I can go with this. Justin said it's easier to anchor a pontoon boat in the current. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But now, Gavin, you done went to work and bought your own boat, didn't you?
There, got a little 17-foot bass tracker.
That will fly.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's a little fast for a boat that size, man. That's crazy. But I don't blame you. You couldn't pass up the deal you got on that boat.
No.
Where do y'all see y'all buying a boat? What do you? I mean, Grayson, y'all fish off a center console.
Mhm.
Now, Ethan, your grandpa's not a center console, is it?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so. And Gavin, they fish off a pontoon boat or whatever they got handy. Right now, the pontoon's tore apart.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet when it goes back together, though.
It's currently loaded.
Yeah. uh, are you thinking maybe a pontoon or one of the bigger flat bottom boats or something like that, Gavin?
Eventually, I'd like to have like a Carolina skiff. You know, I
Yeah.
like for a V-hull boat. You know, just I need something big and spacious.
Yeah. You
'Cause,
done got spoiled on that pontoon, got plenty of room to walk around.
yeah, man, it's got me it spoiled me. That ain't no joke. You can get up, move around, lay back, relax on that thing, and then I bought that little bitty boat of mine, and you get out there on the water and you like this.
Especially when there's more than 2 or 3 on the boat.
Yep, it's a little different.
Yeah, but I mean, it teaches you to respect that water, though, coming
Yeah.
driving them little boats and then beside the big boat.
Yep.
Now, Grayson, that's what your daddy rides is a Carolina skiff, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Them boats are crazy. You can cut them in half and they'll float.
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a safety factor to me. You just the only thing to me, you lose floor space with that console in the middle. When you try to walk around them, trying to get a net or a rod that's up front, and trying to see if we had any questions. We've got a lot of new people, a lot of good people in here, guys. Please share the bait, share the love, check out their channels. If y'all don't mind, I've seen a couple people putting up y'all's channels so people can find y'all. I appreciate it. All right, time to pick brains. What time of year, Gavin, was it that you caught your big fish?
I think it was the end of January, early February.
So you was freezing your tail off.
Yeah, I had layers on in the morning time.
And I know, Grayson, I've seen Dieter drug you out there on a lot of cold days.
Yeah. That's how
I know you have too, Ethan. I've seen you bundled up out there on that boat. But them days when you're freezing, you don't think you're going to catch nothing, and that rod goes down, did it make it all worthwhile?
That's the best feeling.
So guys and gals, these young men right here has caught fish bigger than a lot of us will ever catch in our lifetimes. And it's not because of the lack of trying. It's like I've said all along. If you're in water that only will produce a 50-pound fish and you're catching 35s and 40s, guess what? You're catching the monsters of that lake. It's a period. Hands down, you are catching the top 2% of the fish in that lake. So don't ever say, well, I'll never catch a fish, say like Ethan's 80-pound fish, 82-pound fish. If you caught a 48-pound fish in a 50-pound fish water, that is a fish of a freaking lifetime. Period. It's the top 0%. I mean, it's very rare. So where Ethan caught that 82-pounder, which is a special fish in itself because of its size, but there's probably 100-pound fish in that water. Wouldn't you think, Ethan?
Yeah. It was an 88 continent tournament over there.
Yeah, I just seen there was a 106-pound caught this past weekend on Santee Cooper during that tournament.
Oh,
That's I can't imagine.
I
I
couldn't.
mean,
I
that is you ain't gonna get that fish in the boat by yourself.
no. It's gonna be a fight.
Yeah. How many did it take y'all to get that 82 pounder in, Ethan?
Mm, took us a long time.
Grandpa was a huffing and a puffing, wasn't he?
That he was. Dang, he could barely pick it up.
Hey, you think, oh, I'm strong. I can pick up 82 pound. 82 pound on a barbell is a lot different than an 82 pound slimy catfish.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yes, we will go with Grayson first. Grayson, time to spill the beans on your daddy. Somebody wants to hear a funny story about Deidre.
Um,
Yours next, Ethan.
Funniest thing I can remember I did to him, which was we was fishing in Tennessee, and I hooked into a flathead, and it got loose. And my dad was all mad, stomping around in the boat, like, God Almighty, why'd you miss that fish? Blah blah blah.
Really, not Deidre.
And I was a diehard Panthers fan at the time, and Panthers just lost Super Bowl. I said, well, now you know how I felt when Panthers lost Super Bowl. And
That's
and
pretty good.
and about 2 years ago, we I used to fall asleep hunting all the time, and that's why he wouldn't ever take me to Kentucky. And one day we was hunting in hardwoods, and he falls asleep, and I sneak his phone out of his pocket and videoed it and sent it to all his buddies
Oh
while he
no,
was
you
asleep.
did.
Right after everyone picked on me for sleeping.
Too bad you didn't get to see a deer and shoot it while he was asleep.
That's what I was praying for.
I believe he'd have climbed up out of that stand, wouldn't he? All right, Ethan, spill the beans on Junior.
One time we went fishing with my uncle, and he had a shallow boat, and he fell out of the boat.
Ethan, you about made me choke on my coffee. How did he fall out of the boat?
Fell out backwards. There's that Par Reservoir.
Oh, no. Well, I know he didn't get hurt, did he? I hope.
No.
His pride a little bit.
Ruin a $300 phone.
Oh, yeah, that water will do that. Gavin, I know your daddy didn't say your name, but we're going to go ahead and put you in there anyway.
I guess 4 or 5 years ago, we was fishing on Lake Mountain Island. It's me, Daddy, and one of his buddies that went with us. And every time we fishing, we make a bet. You know what happens if I catch more fish, I catch bigger fish. Blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what the bet was, but I'd catch a fish and it'd be 5 pound channel. He'd catch a fish, 23 pound blue, and it was like that back and forth all day. And he finally told me, "You ain't gonna catch nothing big. I'm just gonna go to sleep." Well, he went to sleep because we was fishing all night, you know. And finally, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd stayed up, you know, nothing happened. One finally bent over. I jerked it up. I was reeling it in, and the whole time he's sitting over here asleep, you know. Oh, Brian, he got the net, and about the time the fish got up to the boat, it ended up being like a 40 pound blue. This is a good fish.
That's
And
right.
when it rolled, it slung water all over Daddy, and he had nothing on but his shorts. He didn't have a shirt on, and he jumped up out of the bed, and he said, "What in the heck is going on?" I said, "I've caught a fish," and he said, "It's about time." 3
So
o'clock in
the
the
fish squatted water all over him.
Yeah, he didn't know what was going on. Thought one of us slung water on him.
Yeah, too bad the fish woke him up. It'd been nice just to fish smack him with the tail of the fish while he was asleep.
Dude,
Give him a couple fish smacks. Now, all three of y'all can cast your daddy's bait casters, can't you? Or your grandpa's bait casters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's that is a trick that when I was raising my daughter on the lakes, not many of my buddies could cast my bait caster because back then it was basically free spooling. And but my daughter could cast that rascal. Did it take y'all a lot of practice to learn how to cast the bait casters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
And,
bird nests.
and I mean, and it's still going to happen. You mess around and hang something behind you, you might as well whoop out the pocket knife. You got a mess. All right, I'm gonna try to pick your brain a little bit deeper now. Now, Grayson, I know Dieter uses a lot of the Santee rigs. It's got to float on the leaders.
Mm.
Are there any other rigs that you see him using that you think would work in different situations besides dragging or drifting?
Carolina rig.
That's pretty much, yeah. I like a Kentucky rig where the weight's on the very bottom, and you can either do it with a 1 or 2 hook rig. Uh, it's hard to drift fish with those. Well, you can with those rigs. You just have to use a drifting sinker on the bottom of them. But when y'all went up there to Tennessee, didn't you go up there to Kerr Lake? Y'all fish up at Kerr a good bit, don't you?
I think so.
About once a year, right up there off the James and the Kerr and all that together, right in that area.
I have no clue. I ain't been in a couple years.
Yeah.
My dad's been going, but
So you stuck on hunting, ain't you?
yep.
Yep. You don't find it interesting learning the graphs and stuff like that about the water?
Kinda.
Kinda. It's still the hunt. Whether you chasing a deer or a fish or quail or squirrel or rabbit, it still all comes down to the hunt. I guess that's why I like flatheads. To me, it's an individual hunt of fish. Same way with monster fish. Not all those fish are monsters out there. Now, does y'all's daddy or grandpa ever show you, look at this daggum fish right here?
Oh, every day. Every 6 pictures.
So y'all learning what's on that graph, what to look for.
Yeah.
Now I know Ethan, y'all's last trip, Junior said that you picked the spot that y'all fished, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
What helped you make that choice of where y'all went?
Well, see, the past weekend we fished in shallow water, not getting a single bite. I figured fish in deeper water and try it out, and well, surprisingly, it worked.
Well, I mean, you got to use a process of elimination on a lot of decisions that you make with fishing, hunting, whatever. I was going to go somewhere with that, and I just had a brain fart. That's why I asked that question, because I was going to lead it into another one. Oh my God! I should have wrote that one down. So, do you ever go on Navionics and stuff and look at the lakes that you're getting ready to go fish and try to figure out what's going on
Yep.
or where you might want to go? I know all of you seen Navionics, and I know Gavin that Justin he's a firm believer in that more than he is anything else about fishing.
Yep.
Is Navionics. What else do you think is just as important as electronics, as rod, reels, hook, line? What is one of the most important tools that you can take with you fishing?
A net?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ethan.
A net?
Gavin.
You better bring your tackle box.
Grayson.
Bait.
Bait's a good one. Tackle box is a good one. Everything's a good one. But you got to have a brain. Can't go out there like the scarecrow and not find anything because you won't know what you're looking for.
Right.
YouTube has got a good. YouTube is a good place to learn a lot of the basics. It's pretty much, for one thing, Dieter's probably covered just about every subject that you could put onto a catfish. But there's little things that Junior does, that Justin does, that Dieter does. My show I had the other week when I had Junior on there and Matthew Anthony last week. Great show. A lot of killer information in there. But just like Justin Womascat, he fishes a lot of similarities. I'm getting ready to bring a guest on with him too. I'm trying to find people that fish pretty similar to each other, but there's some subtle little differences that makes a difference. What is something that you see everybody doing, but you feel that there's something? Well, that's the wrong way to ask that. Ain't no way to answer that, truthfully. On your bad days of fishing, say wintertime, when you caught that big one, how many other fish did you catch, Gavin, that day?
As a bunch, we had to move spots quick because we kept on getting bites.
Really?
Yep.
When you caught your PB, y'all caught a lot of fish.
That morning, yes, sir. It was like, every time we got one of the boats, another of them started getting a bite.
Dang right. The bite was on good then. Grayson, had y'all caught many fish that day?
No, I think it was only a couple. That's it.
Ethan, the same thing?
The only fish we caught was the 82-pounder.
Really? And see, I hear that a lot with some of the bigger fish, that might be one of only a couple fish caught on that day. Be a day that you said, man, I don't even know why I'm out here. Then wham, it goes off. Was you on the boat when your daddy put that 62 in the boat? Or that 60, Gavin?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
What lake was he fishing?
Baden. I think his buddy was with him.
Yeah, that was one. No, that was different.
It was real late at night because he was sending me pictures.
That was him and Brian Jackson.
Yeah, Brian. This old rascal he still uses a flip phone, don't he?
Yeah.
They don't do no social media. I'd love to be able to get him on here.
Yeah, because he's one of the best fishermen I know.
That's crazy. Don't care nothing about social media. Freddie said he loves the way Junior, he fishes a lot like Junior. He fished with him at our tournament. You making sure your brother's practicing for that next tournament, ain't you? Planning to get to our Gavin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good. Look forward to that.
Yeah, I am too.
Do y'all ever see yourself doing any, when I say pro fishing, tournament fishing, what I mean?
For sure, yeah. And the next year, I'd like to. I say the next year. The next year, I'd like to have my own boat, be able to go out there and whoop up on Daddy a little bit.
There you go. I mean, when you're young, tournament fishing is fun.
Yeah.
It is. It's that high pace, fast fishing. It's fun. And Ethan, you already fishing tournaments too with your grandpa, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You see yourself in the future getting your own boat and maybe competing against him?
Yeah, that I do.
And I know, Grayson, you fished a few with your daddy, hadn't you? In fact, you come in second place last year in the tournament, didn't you?
I think so. I got it.
Last year before last. Might have been your. I can't remember what year it was.
It may have been a couple years ago. It was before COVID.
It was down there at Wateree, wasn't it? I remember you seeing you hold the trophy up.
I think it was Fishing Creek.
Fishing Creek, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's fun. It's stressful. It can be stressful. Just don't allow it to be stressful and take the joy away from fishing from you.
Right.
What is their favorite day of fishing? What is your favorite day of fishing?
Favorite day?
Yep,
Every day.
every day. Good answer. Good answer. Hey, James, take down fishing. Oh, people saying hi, guys. I guess they're asking, outside your PB, what was one of your best days of fishing that you can remember?
Uh, I'd say one of the best trips I've had was whenever we went to Wiley. Me and Daddy woke up one morning, went to Wiley to catch some perch for a tournament that weekend, and we got at the lake at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna go down the lake and you look and tell me if you see anything coming to the top of the water." And I was like, "Daddy, look all around us right now. Everything's at the top of the water." So we threw out the sabiki rigs and started killing perch. Started killing channel catfish. So I mean, we stocked up, and actually Richard Warskall was out there fishing, and we gave him a little bit of bait, and we fished a little bit too, and caught several 20-pound fish, but no monsters. But that was just a good day of fishing.
Right.
But like you was talking about earlier, them perch, jerking them out of the water every time you turn around, that's fun.
It is. And perch is good eating.
I ain't never tried it.
That's good. They're good eating. They really are. All right, Grayson. Besides catching your PB, one of your favorite days on the water. Don't matter if salt or fresh.
It's Myrtle's Inlet down at Myrtle Beach. It was freezing cold. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend or something. And they was catching saltwater trout. And as we were leaving, tide was low. And told my dad, let's hit that pocket there where some water's going into. And we caught probably 30 black drum out of there. And kept our
Dang,
limit.
dang right. That sounds like a fun daggone day, too.
Oh, yeah.
And
And a
you
lot of
picked that
trout.
little spot.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Ethan.
Probably the day that we filled the whole entire level up with perch and brim.
See, but it ain't the big fish. It's not the big fish that makes those memories. It's just the camaraderie and catching a bunch of fish, but it really didn't matter that day. Everything was just good. Everything was just good and it was fun. That's memories that you'll carry a lifetime with. Are there any special memories of you and your grandpa, Ethan, on the boat
Mm.
that is dear to your heart?
Probably when we caught the 72 pounder, and then the 60, 15, the 80.
Oh, all in one day?
Not all in one day, no.
Oh, okay. You know what they say, boy, that was a big fish day right there, boy.
It
They're
is.
probably about a week apart, though.
That's y'all. Yeah, I remember y'all had a daggum good week that week. That's all on videos. Uh,
The
Grayson,
70,
a special memory with you and your daddy.
Probably when I was little and I had my grandpa come out there with me. It was the only time he ever went. I was little and we went and caught perch, catfish, whatever would bite to entertain him. Be fun. That's one will probably stick with me forever.
There you go, Gavin.
Uh, I think one of the probably fondest memories on the lake with Daddy was this past summer we was fishing a tournament. I want to say it was on Wiley, and it was a super slow day, and I want to say it was your tournament. Matter of fact, now Jimmy, it was your tournament on Wiley, and we happened, it just been a slow day, and the last minutes, sitting there thinking, man, we got to have our rods out, in the next 10 minutes, we got to go, something's got to happen, and nothing happened, so it's sort of a bummer, and then rod took off like 5 minutes before had to have our rods out, and I got it. Daddy said, y'all start reeling in me while he catches this little fish. take too long. He's already calling it little. Well, he got to the boat and grew up a little bit, realized his hook and took off to the bottom. I reeled him on up. We got him in the boat. Daddy squeezed me and screaming, yes, yes. It's just
Yeah.
it's a good that was a 10-second span of greatness right there. It was just fun. Everybody's smiling. Huge fish like just caught. Last 5 minutes of the tournament and Bryson got to play a little concert at 7 o'clock in the morning. That was a good day.
Yeah. I've had so many comments on that, wanting to know who and all that. They said, "Will you do it next time?" I said, "Most definitely. As long as I'm having a tournament, Bryson's going to be playing that right
Yeah.
out there in the front. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, guys, we're bumping right at 9 o'clock. I want to thank you for coming in. We'll do this again. Hopefully, we can do some lives one night when y'all out on the water, or one day y'all out on the water. I'll holler at Junior next time he's got you out there, Ethan, on the water, maybe bringing you into the show while y'all live, while you're out there. And same way with you, Grayson. But pinning down your daddy to do it is like pinning down a moth in a hurricane. But yeah, I look forward to it. Everybody want to come on the boat, like to fish with each and every one of you again. I've enjoyed fishing with you, Gavin. We'll do it again. I know it. We got to get down there and fish with Ethan and Junior. Definitely got to get down there and meet them at Monticello or something, because there's some monster fish in that lake, and I think that's a untapped fishery right there.
Yeah.
So, but guys, I want to thank you for coming in. Any parting things y'all want to share? Any words of advice to the youth or whatever?
Get out there on the water, man.
Enjoy fishing.
You can't catch them sitting on the couch, can you?
That's right.
You can't catch them sitting on the couch. But guys, I do thank you for coming in. We'll definitely do this again. I've got some stuff coming up in the future that I'd like to bring y'all three back in again if y'all game with that. And plus, keep your Wednesdays open every once in a while, because I like to bring in some guest co-hosts. And I like to have y'all, each one of y'all, do some co-hosting with me. So how's that sound? That work out?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Let
sir.
y'all do the question answering and stuff, and I'll sit back and take notes. That being said, guys and gals, thank y'all for coming in and supporting the Patriot James Talk Show. Remember, check out these young men. They've grown up. We've watched them grow up on video. We'll be sending a lot more of them. Passing on the good information to any young people out there wanting to fish. Steer them in the right direction, because these guys practice catch and release. Now, there's times when they want to go get some food, and it's all right to catch your food. It's all right to catch fish and eat them. It is. So enjoy them. Just put the big ones back. They taste like crap anyway. So put the big ones back so these guys' grandkids can also catch the fish that we've been catching. That being said, God bless y'all. God bless America. And we'll be seeing y'all next Wednesday night on Patriot James Talk Show. Oh, don't forget, April the 16th, the Patriot James All-American Heroes Tournament is coming. Get your tail in gears. Notify me, people. Let me know if you're coming or not. We got some veterans coming for sure this time. So we'll see y'all there. Good night. Hold on, guys.